Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be installing fresh spark plugs in my girlfriend's Gen 2 Mazdaspeed 3. This car's been having some issues breaking up past 4,000 RPM or while it's under boost, so hopefully the new fresh spark plugs with the correct gap will help alleviate this problem. I'll be sure to add some clips before and after of the problem I was encountering to see if it has any effect with the new spark plugs. In this video, I'll take you guys along the process I use to replace them and give you guys some tips along the way. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you. But without any further ado, I'll get right into the install. Alright, to start, you're going to want to remove the engine cover. And typically, you'll have two 10mm bolts here. But in this case, one is missing, so I just have one. But if you have both, just remove these with a 10mm socket and get the engine cover out of the way. So now with the engine cover removed, you'll have three 12mm bolts that hold the top mount intercooler in. One's back there and there's two up here, so you just want to loosen these. So now that you have the three nuts holding the intercooler removed from the two front and the one in the rear, once those are out of the way, you're going to have to remove the hose clamps that hold in the intercooler piping. So you have a total of three of them, one for the blow off, one in the back of the turbo, and then one right here. So you're going to remove these three clamps and then you'll be able to take the intercooler off the vehicle. So now that the engine cover is removed, I'm going to remove the hoses that attach the top mount intercooler, which is one right here with the turbo, another down here for the throttle body, one for the blow off, as well as this vacuum line. And those will be the only lines that I have to remove the intercooler, and then I'll get right into the next step. So now I loosened the hose clamps for the intercooler, as well as the line that goes to the blow off. And now I just have to wiggle out the top mount intercooler and get it out of the way. Put it in a safe spot, make sure you don't want to damage it or anything. Also note, some of these mounts have washers and they might come loose. So just be careful not to drop them and get them out of the way. So now that we have the intercooler out of the way, it is good practice to take a microfiber towel or some paper towels and just put them on the exposed tubing. That way nothing falls in. So now that those are covered off, you have access to the top of the valve cover and you have your 4 ignition coils as well as the spark plugs under these. So holding these in are going to be 8mm sockets or 8mm bolts. So you want to loosen these, and you can also disconnect these connectors, and you can either take all the spark plugs out at once, but I'm going to go one by one essentially and remove these spark plugs and ignition coils. So now with it removed, you can take a look at the ignition coil. In this video, I'm not replacing these, but this would be the perfect time to do it. And you have your 8mm bolt, and that will be the same for the other three. So with this out, I'm going to go and remove the first spark plug. Okay, so now with the first spark plug removed, I'm going to be reinstalling the new spark plug. In my case, I'm going to be using NGK spark plugs. I would highly recommend you consult your tuner or go on your own factory service manual and make the decision on what gap and what spark plug to use. In this case, I'm using NGK, and I made sure that they were gapped to the correct spec. I'm gonna tighten them hand tight first and then torque them to spec, which is I think about 8 to 10 foot-pounds in spec. So I'm gonna get this one done, and then I'm gonna go do the rest of the 3. Okay, so now that everything is torqued to spec, I just went over twice to make sure. I'm going to reinstall the ignition coils and tighten them all down and plug them in, and that'll conclude the installation process, and everything else is just going to be reversed from that. So I'm going to go get that done. So as you can see, I just completed the install of the ignition coils. Make sure everything's snugged up and plugged in. And now all you have to do is reinstall the intercooler and the engine cover. To install the intercooler, I like to just put it in place first and get the hoses connected first, and then I'll worry about the mounting bolts. So as you can see, that was a really simple and quick process. I just made sure everything was guided into the right spot. So I'm going to snug up the hose clamps and then tighten the 3 12mm nuts. And now with the intercooler hoses all connected, I'm going to tighten down the 3 nuts securing the intercooler to the mounting points. And finally, all that's left is putting the engine cover back on with the 2 10mm bolts. So as you can see from those clips, the breaking up issue has been resolved with the spark plug change. So if you guys are having similar issues, I would definitely look into that. Also consult your tuner and other issues you might have with the vehicle. But in this case, the spark plugs solved that issue. Overall, the install was very simple. If you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you liked the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.